Hey, welcome back to Bronx Porch Homestead. So we are back downstairs in the seeding room. We are transplanting now. I've been away for just a couple of days, and that is because I hurt my back. And I hurt my back twisting a little bit, getting the remote, and so that kind of messed things up for the past 2 or 3 days, and I have been carefully not been able to pick up soil or anything that's heavy. So gardening does take a bit of physical work, which is why it's healthy for you. But anyway, that's where I've been for the past couple of days. Today, I had to pick up where we left off. I was transplanting parsley. So the parsley was seeded. And this is now the transplant one. That's parsley. So I do plant parsley on purpose because they go well with the tomatoes. I plant them under the tomatoes. Last year they did great. We didn't see any caterpillars on the parsley, believe it or not. It's weird. I really kept a good eye on what pest we had last year, and I was fortunate that my tomatoes were not hit by any of the common pests that tomatoes get hit. Also, the parsley did phenomenally well. So this year I'll also be planting parsley underneath, again, my tomatoes, but in a different location of the garden. So this is the cell pack. The leaves on the bottom are turning yellow. There is a little bit of mold on the top, as you can see. Some people say you can add some cinnamon. I don't do that. I just remove it and take the yellow out and repot it. So you see the roots on that, really nice looking. This is great. This is, I can keep harvesting this and it keeps coming out once it's in a bigger, see how easily that came out? Once it's in a bigger area for the roots to shoot out, then I can just keep harvesting it. And that's what we did last year. So we're going to add soil here. I'm going to need help with filling this up with soil because, again, my back is a little bit shot and it's actually very sensitive to everything I carry. So that's why it's important for to be mindful that, depending on what you're doing in the garden, what you can do and what you're limited to doing. So anyway, this goes in here, and then we're just going to keep potting this up. So there's a couple of little things I need to pot up today. I think I've shared a lot of I patted on the booty. I think I shared a lot about how I transplant things out, how it's worked for me. There's a couple of seeds that I'm going to be seeding again as of next week, I think, as a backup. Whether I'm going to use them or not, I don't know. And the reason I say that is because the tomatoes are doing excellent down here. They need a chance to be hardened off. We're not at that stage yet. We're still only in mid-March, so I cannot bring them out. It is very deceiving weather outside. Yesterday we were at 30 degrees, and today we're up 55. So it's really crazy to be bringing stuff out. So yeah, just let me show you real quick about the tomatoes and what I mean. So see how they're doing really, really, really well. See how look at that. That is phenomenal, doing great. But now they're going to have to be, they're going to have to be seeded. They're going to have to be hardened off. A couple of leaves are drying up on the end. As leaves change color or texture, what I do is I snip them off. So, and I just continue, or I can snip off an entire stem because I know that the stem being full of hairs is just going to provide me more roots when I actually transplant them out. The peppers are doing phenomenal. Look at the peppers. They are doing absolutely wonderful. Look at that. So again, I need to kind of like not keep them from keep growing. But now I've got to be kind of watchful of them because we are, like I said, mid-March. Yes, I planted them early, I know. So here's another tomato that you see here. See? And I'm going to show you a long tomato. This is a long tomato. See, this is a big one now. Again, second week of March. So I will probably be removing the very bottom one. And even this one I'll remove. And then I'll plant it in the planter up to here. I'll plant it like this all the way down so that then we can get more roots and I still have the top. So that's one nice thing about tomatoes is that even though they can spring up like that, you can plant them deep and they will continue to make roots on the stems, which I think is pretty cool. The ones down here, these are all onions. The onions are looking phenomenal. I have been using them as chives, even though they're not. But I have been cutting them off, so they've been getting stronger. These are going to be coming out soon. And then we have this one here, more onions. You know, I planted red and sweet onions. So I have 3 trays of crazy onions that I may not use them all. But, you know, I'll use enough for just for the actual blades themselves. And then the rest, I can plant as much as I can, depending on the space that, you know, that I have, but they're doing good. These don't have lights here now because I had to switch them out with some of the things that did need lights. So, until I can get, another one of these raised, not raised, things, these, shelving units. So until I can get more shelving units, you know, the lights I still have, but again, I am not keeping these on when I'm not here. So I am mindful of that until I can get them replaced. All right, I'm going to go back to transplanting out the rest of the parsley and let's see what the rest of the day looks like. All right, I'm going to take a walk outside and let Charlie out first. I did as much as the planting that I can get done. Transplanting, that is, downstairs in the basement. So I'm going to come out. I did put on a shirt because it is nice out, but not nice enough for a tank top. So if you're wondering what I'm holding, it's actually some of my snap peas that are growing past the grow lights. So I'm going to put them in the greenhouse here. Hens can sense I'm coming up. So between the blizzard that we had the other day and the birds eating away, the snap peas that I planted in that window box, they are semi-alive. Semi-alive. So I'm gonna let them finish them off, the birds, because it looks like they were still on there that morning. I did hear the hawk this morning. That's why I don't like to leave the rabbits out by themselves, because hawks pick up rabbits. All right, I'm going to let Charlie out because he didn't get a chance yesterday too much. I let Holly out for a couple hours, but I didn't let Charlie out that long. So I'm going to let him out. I'm not bending as much. And that's because today is just one of those days that I do have ties on here because I'm always afraid that the raccoon's little hands are going to try to open this up. All right, well, Charlie, you can go out now, honey. All right, beautiful day to be out. Now you don't want to be out? It's funny. Here, I'll let you come out. Put this on here. Looks like he didn't drink all his water. And he didn't have too much hay, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Anyway, yes, girls, I bought you collards. I'm taking a look outside. So oh, Charlie's out. That's great. Okay, good. So some of the seedlings did great, and some of them looks like they're having a hard time, and that, you know, expect that. You're not going to get 100%. So the broccoli, what is this called? The rapini, only 3 of them are going to make it. The other 3 are not. So, see? That's what they look like. That's okay. There's more seeding to do. This is, you know, this is why planting early I don't mind. This one looks like it was eaten up a little bit, and I did leave these out the other day when it was a little bit warmer, and so the birds probably got to that. And the Brussels sprouts are actually doing great. Look at that. I was going to say phenomenal, but they're doing great. Cabbage are struggling. The cilantro is doing good. Look at the cilantro. That's doing good. And then the other 2 flats that I have, mustard green, those I only have 2 left, which I cannot get to bending down right now. And then these I'm just going to put up on the top of the greenhouse, switch these out. If I leave these out, knowing now that the birds like them a lot, they're just going to be eaten. So let me go ahead and do that. And then I'll take care of the hens later on. Okay, so I cleaned out what I needed in the greenhouse outdoors. Now you can see cabbage is struggling a little bit, but it is getting better. I'm not going to water it. It's moist enough. That's it. Snap peas are looking awesome. I just bought them from downstairs. Cilantro's good. I put on the same tray kale and the broccoli rapini. That's this one here. And I took out the ones that are not going to make it. And then these are the Brussels sprouts, right? Those are there. And then down there is the one that's like the Chinese one. And I see this one has been eaten. So you could tell that it was eaten. And then I'm going to take this one here that was eaten as well. The rest I think I'm going to leave. And actually this one too, I'm going to take. So there's 3 of them now that I'm not going to put. So now these are the ones that didn't make it. And that's fine. I am not upset. And, you know, shouldn't be upset. Don't be upset because they are seedlings and it only takes a couple more days for them to germinate. So just plant some more, you know. I'm not going to be upset about it because I planted more than enough. These were the mustard greens. Look how bad they did, right? They did bad. You see, these were eaten. You could tell they were eaten. These were the birds, by the way. Birds do that. And look at these. So these are the rapinis. Yeah, these were definitely eaten, you know. All the greenery is gone. It's not even like it's down or anything. It's just gone. All right, so I'm going to take the greens out, give it to the hens later on with the rest of the collards. And for me, it's not a waste. I just feel like, it's just more food for them. And then I'll just use the same soil. And I'll reseed in again, like maybe next week. I think that would be good. Because I do have some downstairs already.